Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today I'm going to take some time to reflect on my Lego city. I'm thinking about making some serious changes. I'm going to discuss those in this video. I just want to sort of go through the Lego city section by section and share my thoughts. Starting right here at the beach and like the campground, this is definitely one of my favorite areas in the Lego city. I love what I did with the water and the sand and like the forest, a little bit of a hill there. Beautiful campground and a mountain back there with the Ninjago temple, the zoo, and then the Mountain View Observatory on top of a massive mountain. Even starting right here at the boardwalk where we have like the end of the water and making our way all the way around. That water sort of just trickles around the entire perimeter of the Lego city where we have like so many different like green spaces, large trees, and different styles of landscaping. It's amazing. Even on top of the raised platform where we have all the different castles. I've just worked really hard on creating these green spaces that go around the perimeter of the Lego city, and I really like them. This water here from the Lionite Castle moat actually flows right through here, past the airstrip, trickles down this waterfall, and is also fed by the water coming from the Mountain View Observatory, makes its way underneath the road there by the farm, and then goes off the edge of the table over there. And there's even more water on this side of the mountain that trickles down and actually goes into the zoo. And then this water from the temple goes down and then connects with the ocean through the campground. Man, I just love Lego landscapes, and I'm really digging like this whole perimeter of the city and also the farm. Speaking of the perimeter of the Lego city, I really like the amusement park as well. You've got the Ferris wheel, the doubled up Disney castle with Tinkerbell, a ton of minifigures, also a whole bunch of palm trees as well, and all the water around the base of the Disney castle, and then of course all the other rides. And that sort of blends in with that perimeter as well. And there's also another little green space right here by this custom built train station, and then of course we have the downtown core. I wanted to start by featuring the perimeter of the Lego city because that's the part that I'm like really happy with. I just think everything around the edge of the table looks fantastic. But all of the stuff in the middle, like the downtown core and the modular buildings, of course I think it looks fantastic as well, but that's the stuff that I'm like willing to change continuously and just try new things with. Specifically the downtown core. I've been reading a lot of comments from a recent video where I placed the Avengers Tower. There's been a lot of comments and suggestions on how I can improve the city, and a lot of people think that I should reduce the amount of clutter in the Lego city and sort of simplify it. And I sort of agree with that statement. So the downtown core is definitely a little bit different right now in its current state than what I've done classically in the past. For example, it is split into different blocks. We have the hospital, the Ghostbusters HQ, the Avengers Tower, this custom empty skyscraper, which is needing interior details. I think if I put interior details in that thing, it would actually look pretty cool. Just thinking like some sort of science center or something. Then we have the sit complex. So there's a block of 4 there. Then there's another block of 4 right here with the town hall, brick bank, and then the corner garage. And then we have another block of 4, which is the Grand Emporium, Palace Cinema, there's the Disney costume shop, and also the Sesame Street building. Then what I've decided to do, like in the last big change, was rather than running these blocks vertically, I'm going to call it vertically, but starting here and going straight to the back, and having these long lines in this Lego city, I decided to change it up and put this lateral block in the center where we have things like the Parisian restaurant, the Natural History Museum, the Fire Brigade, the Daily Bugle, the Birch Bookshop, the police station. And then on the very end, we have the Sanctum Sanctorum from the Superheroes lineup. This layout here definitely looks a little bit chaotic from this perspective. It's sort of hard to see the buildings at the very backs. For example, we have some fantastic buildings back there, such as the bowling alley, Assembly Square, and many others. So they're a little bit difficult to see because there's a lot of height up front here, and the blocks aren't in one long line. Whereas if they were in one long line with a two-way road, you would be able to see the faces of the buildings all the way down. So when I commonly work on the Lego City in my Crocs, I pop up through these little access holes to reach different sections of the Lego City. And what's cool is when I do that, I see different views and different buildings of the city. You see, when I'm looking at it from this angle, I see completely different structures that I had never seen when I was standing over there by my parts inventory. So it's pretty neat that I can come up here and see completely new things. But with that said, it still is pretty tight, and these one-way roads right here definitely make these streets pretty tight, and I'm not sure like if it's the best. I've enjoyed it. Like, I think it's pretty cool, though. The change that I did make recently was pretty cool, and I think that this layout is pretty neat just because there's so much variety. You know, we've got buildings running this way, we've got blocks up front, and then we have blocks running vertically back here, and then one block running horizontally in front of the raised platform back there. It's pretty neat just because there's so many different things going on and so many different things to see from different angles and different points of view in the Lego City. I do think that this layout is pretty cool. It definitely is very crowded. There's definitely a lot going on and a lot to see. And it's funny because when you look at this city through the lens of a camera, I think it presents differently than when you're actually standing here, because I've had a lot of people that have watched my YouTube videos actually come into this basement, and then they come down here and they're like, holy cow, like it's so much bigger than what it looks like through the camera. And I think that's what's happening with this layout is the viewers, that's you, thank you so much for the views, I highly appreciate it, but I don't think it presents as well on camera as it does in like real life. For example, I can stand here, I can go on my tippy toes, I can look around, I can see Diagon Alley, I can see Peter Parker's apartment back there, and the jazz club, and the Mountain View Observatory in the background, and if I peek up over, I can see the temple on a mountain and a big forest over there, and I can sort of see these things. But I think when I present it from through the lens of a camera, you can't see like that sort of depth. It just doesn't really, like, it's hard to grasp it all through the little screen of a camera. But I think it looks really cool when I'm standing here in person, and I'm fortunate enough to stand down here and think about my Lego City every single day and look at it every single day. It puts a smile on my face. Like seriously, it's pretty cool. I've worked so hard on this, and I'm really happy with it. So there have been a ton of comments with different suggestions about my Lego City. Some of those comments can actually be found in the video of when I placed the Avengers Tower. And some of those comments I definitely agree with, and some of them I don't agree with at all. And I want to talk about a few of those comments. I'm not going to single them out individually here, but I'm going to give you a general idea of what those comments were saying. So there are some people that are saying that it's too busy, there's too much going on, they can't see all of the structures with this new layout. They prefer the old layout where the blocks were in long lines because you could actually see everything. So I sort of agree with that. Maybe there's too much going on in the city. Maybe I need to simplify it a little bit. And maybe I need to try a new layout. Maybe I need to get rid of some structures, and I need to free up more space so that everything has a little bit more breathing room and you can actually see everything when I present it in my videos. I do agree with that. And you know me, I'm not scared to change my Lego City. It's what I do, it's what I enjoy. It's part of the reasons why I like collecting Lego City modular buildings and creating a Lego City, is because I got to change it around, and it feels like I get to have more fun with the sets that I already have in my possession. So I'm definitely not scared to change up the city. There was one comment that I sort of had a good chuckle at, and it was in regards to the Lego City, of course. The suggestion was that I get rid of half of everything. Get rid of everything. And it's like, well, if I get rid of everything, well, what am I going to do? If you're going to submit a comment like that, it's sort of got to be like a two-pronged comment. Suggestion, get rid of half of your buildings, replace them with this. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the way the Lego City looks right now, and I'm not getting rid of half of my stuff. That is insane. But I am willing to get rid of some stuff and take it out of the city. Some people have been commenting saying that the skyscrapers don't really match the look of the Lego City, and that I should eliminate the skyscrapers because that will reduce the height so that you actually have better visibility. That might be worth a shot. And I did bring it up in an earlier video that I am considering getting rid of the Simpsons house and also the McAllister's house. So I always read pretty much every comment, and I take all of the suggestions into account, and sometimes I even act on comments. So the comments that were involved with me placing the Avengers Tower, I took to heart. And I have been planning and planning and planning and thinking about what I'm going to do with my Lego City layout. And I think I'm going to do something drastic. So I'm pretty sure the skyscrapers that I've recently built will be removed. I already know the Imagination Station, the colorful one that you can see popping up behind the Daily Bugle there, will be gone. My Nougat and Trans Blue one might be gone. This white and black one could potentially be gone. As I mentioned, these two massive Lego sets that currently consume 8 base plates in the Lego City will most likely be gone. And I've threatened to get rid of these 2 buildings for far too long, and they potentially might be gone as well. And there's also another skyscraper right there behind the Daily Bugle, which is currently home to a bunch of sig figs, and that is potentially going to be gone as well, because I still want to do that skyscraper that goes around my tower, and then put all the sig figs in a tower that goes from the table all the way to the ceiling. And I've actually got a template for that built, right down here. So I've got a template for that built, and that one might look pretty cool. In fact, I'm going to free up a bunch of, the reason I haven't moved forward with this is because I don't have the pieces to do it. I don't have enough trans blue windows, and I just freed up the Avengers Tower, which is sitting on my desk right over there, my old mock one. So when I get that all parted out, I can move forward with this project as well. So with that said, that will be 8 base plates there, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 base plates freed up from the city. And that will potentially declutter my city and allow me to move forward with a completely new layout for the residential area and the downtown core. And is this going to be happening? I'm going to tell you right now it is. I've been giving it a lot of thought, and something drastic is going to change here to make this city look a lot cleaner and make it look a lot more presentable. Because look at that thing. Holy, there's a lot going on. So probably what's going to happen is the lateral running block right there will be eliminated. And then we're going to go back to the old system where I have these blocks run through, and then we're going to put buildings flanking the access holes. I've done something similar to that before. It's sort of hard to visualize right now because there are roads, vehicles, and buildings absolutely everywhere. But make sure you stay tuned for a Lego City update that's coming out in the very near future, as this will probably be the last time that you see this Lego City in this layout. This entire core, starting over there, all the way to here, is going to be changing. But the perimeter, we're going to leave that alone because I think it's beautiful. And it's crazy to think that this idea for change was all sparked by probably a half dozen comments from me placing the Avengers Tower. Obviously, I must agree with some of those comments, otherwise I wouldn't act on making these changes to improve my Lego City. And I think it's always for the better. Whenever I change things, it's for the better. I want my city to present well. I want it to look good. And I want to have fun as well. And if moving modular buildings around and coming up with a new layout is fun to me, then I'm going to have fun. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to start working on these changes probably right away. And we're going to have, 13 open base plates in the city so that we can give everything that's here a little bit more breathing room. I know I've done a layout like what I've been discussing in the past, but the difference is now I've got a whole bunch more modular buildings that have been doubled up in size, And there's a bunch of new structures as well. There's a new Avengers Tower. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff. The doubled up Sanctum Sanctorum, the hospital, the doubled up jazz club, the doubled up police station. So there's a whole bunch of buildings that have been changed since I've tried that other like long line layout. So I'm excited about trying it again. I'm also excited about opening up a whole bunch of space with this residential buildings that will be moved over here, because then we're gonna have a whole new block to work with and be able to come up with a brand new layout. Also, since the last time I had this layout with the long lines of buildings, the residential stuff was actually way back there by the roller coaster. So now the residential is actually blocked over here. So this layout that I'm gonna have is gonna be completely refreshed. Never been done before in this living room. I'm excited about it. Everybody, thank you so much for coming up. I hope you enjoyed it. I know there's a lot to digest and take in there and a lot to think about as well. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Farewell.